Hello friend, Daniel here with StockMusicLicensing.com, bringing you the best tips and strategies for selling your music on royalty-free libraries. Another video, another question, another answer here. Hey Daniel, are you allowed to use loops or samples from different VSTs or not? I know Music Grid, we're not allowed to use samples. Does this apply to royalty-free music libraries? Now this is a great question. This is something as well that it could be a little bit confusing. You can use loops and different samples from VSTs and sample packs. There is a lot of controversy here when it comes down to what is allowed and what's not allowed. When you read in music libraries, when you uploaded a track like Audi Jungle or Music Grid and the rest, there's usually like a box or something that says that you are using samples that are royalty free or that you are allowed to use in order to make a profit. You gotta be careful with those samples. There's many sites where they specialize on selling samples and loops and packs, if you will, and you can build pretty much a track like that. Or even if you're using Logic, for example, it comes with a lot of Apple loops or whatnot. So one thing that you're not allowed to is to grab and build a track from loops, for example. Okay, for example, on Logic, like I mentioned, you can literally grab like a drum loop, a bass loop, a guitar loop, a piano loop, and pretty much just build a track like that with loops without you having to program anything. That's not allowed. Okay, when you use a loop like a drum loop or something like that, they're usually royalty free and you're usually able to use them on your productions and then upload them. As a composer, you want to be as artistic involved in your music or be as creative as possible. So I use some drum loops. I just need to alter from time to time just certain patterns when it comes down to the loop itself. And that's just because sometimes it doesn't really fit the music and I want to be a little bit more creative. But I'll be very careful with the loops that you can use. But for example, if you have a VST that it has a string patch, if you will, or an orchestral patch, you can just literally use that for your compositions. That's what we all do, you know, and that's the whole point of VSTs as well, to actually buy some samples or buy some packs, if you will, of anything and just use those sounds in your productions. But you gotta be very careful as well, okay? Don't overdo it. In Audi Jungle, for example, there's a part that it says underneath when you upload your track, are you using you know, samples that have been cleared, if you will. But samples that come with Logic or any kind of DAW like that, and most samples that you can buy online, if it's gonna be samples from native instruments or whatever, you know, just to say a company on the top of my head, all of these sounds and all of these samples, you are able to use them on your production and your compositions and then, you know, build a track from that. But you're not allowed to just grab loops, random loops, and just create a track out of pre-made loops, if that makes any sense. That's the word I was looking for. Pre-made loops and samples. You're not allowed to do that, and you gotta be very careful with it, okay? And composers take this very seriously to heart, meaning that they want to compose something that is original. You can use a sample and a loop here and there, but ideally you want to manipulate that loop and that sample in a way that is going to fit your own vision of what the music should sound like. Again, thank you so much for all the love and support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Download my free guide, link in the description if you're new to music licensing or to royalty-free libraries. I love you all very much. Rock and roll, and here's to your success.